Hey up everyone and welcome. As usual, the kits for today's project is available at ayupduckcreations.com. The link is in the description below. And today we're going to be doing Christmas, the Christmas mistletoe. But first of all, as usual, let's take care of business. Hit those subscribe and like buttons so you don't miss out on any future videos. This is the contents of the kit that you're going to receive, and these are the tools that we're going to be using today. I'm showing different options to create the holes in the felt balls to connect to the wires, and this is what we're going to create. So we're going to start off with the shorter stems that are in the kit, and we're going to create a hook on the top of the stem, and this is the part that's going to get pushed into the felt ball. We need to create a hole in the felt ball for the stem to go into. I use a large dull needle and poke it all the way through the ball, but I still want to make that hole bigger, and I usually use a pair of tweezers, an awl, a pair of scissors, whatever you have on hand, just to make that hole bigger, so that I can get my glue gun tip right into the hole and squeeze on some glue there. Then we're going to push the stem end with the hook in, and we're going to push it into the ball and squeeze so that the glue sticks to the ball. And we're going to repeat that 5 times so that we have 5 stems with 5 felt balls. Now we're going to go to create the leafy stems. We're going to create 3 leafy stems. But first of all, I'm going to put the hook on the end of those wires, and then we need to attach the loose leaves onto these like canoe shaped leaves. We're going to just put glue on the very tip of the small leaf, and then we're going to offset it slightly on the larger canoe shaped leaf. And then we're going to repeat the process again on the smaller canoe-shaped leaf. We're going to offset those smaller leaves. Now all the leaves are ready and prepared. We've just got to put everything together on the stem. Now, as you all may know already, I'm a poker. I like my dull needle to create the holes in the centre, but you can use scissors, whatever you want to do. And those 2 first top leaves are going to create the crown, and they're going to lie perpendicular to each other, make like an X at the top of the stem there. And while the glue is still warm, we're going to squeeze it all together and make a tufty crown right at the top of the stem. Then I use my embroidery scissors and I trim off any excess felt or any bits of glue that have seeped through, just to make it neat and tidy. Then we're going to add in the other 4 stems. The smaller ones go on first and then the bigger ones last. As you can see, when I use my dull needle, I can thread all 4 leaves directly on the stem. I just find it easier and it's quicker for me. We're going to leave a small gap between each layer. The size of the gap you leave is going to dictate the bushiness of the mistletoe. And again, before the glue sets, we're going to squeeze it all together and just get it looking exactly how you want it to. And as you go along, just clean up the stem. If you've got any glue that's showing, just trim it off. And if you've still got glue there, if you take the tip of your glue gun, the hot part, then you can just melt that glue and it just sort of disappears into the felt and nobody will see it. I just try and keep things neat and tidy as I go along. And if you find that you need to add a little bit more glue, by all means just go back in there and squeeze a little bit more glue in there. It's always better to only do a little dab, and then if you need to add more later. You can't take it out, you can always add it in. And we're going to repeat this process 2 more times, and we're going to have 3 leafy stems at the end of it. Now we have 5 felt ball stems and 3 leafy stems, and we need to put everything together. The felt balls, I like to stagger them so they're not all at the same height. And then I just put a bit of the floral tape around them just to secure them in place. Again, if you've never used floral tape before, it's the activation of stretching the tape and the heat of your hands that activates the wax that's around the tape and that makes it stick to the stems and holds everything in place. Once the felt balls are taped together, I place the leafy stems around, and I just want to make sure that that top felt ball is peeking out through the bunch of mistletoe. Then I start with one of the leaf stems, wrap the wax tape around it again, and then I connect the balls. Again, just using that floral tape and staggering the stems as I go around and connecting each individual stem. And then I take the floral tape and I wind all the way down the stem to cover all the wire. And just pull it and it tears off easily. Now I want to make a hook on the mistletoe so that we can hang it up, so I'm just going to bend over the wire near roundabout in the middle, just where the wire tends to taper off and it isn't quite so thick. And I just bend the wire with my pliers, make a little loop, and then secure that loop again with the floral tape. Now you can leave it as is at this point. You could use some Christmas ribbon to decorate it, or you can use this twine that I've included in the kit. You just wrap it around the stem of the mistletoe, just so that you cover up some of the green tape. Just keep on winding and make sure it's nice and tight, and it makes a pretty finish on the stem there. And you can just finish the twine up with a dab of glue and it'll stay in place. And there we have it. You can just fluff out the branches, position the felt balls exactly where you want them to be. You can add a little tag, you can add ribbons, make it look however you want it to look. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like buttons, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and the kits are available at aupduckcreations.com. I'll speak to you all again later.